This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show here. Week 7, Part 3, we'll have 15 games for Saturday. Before we get to the picks, just a couple things. If you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my page at Tony'sPicks.com. And for more free videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one going. We get it underway here with Stanford and Notre Dame. College football pick here for action on Saturday. Stanford fell to 2-3 after their 31-7 home defeat to Virginia Tech. The Cardinal put up 257 yards, 136 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 337 yards to the Hokies, 201 passing on 19 attempts. Justin Lamson, 13-24 passing for 103 yards with a pick. He rushed for 19 times for 36 yards. Lamson plays instead of the ineffective Ashton Daniels. Notre Dame now 4-1. A 31-24 home win to Louisville. The Fighting Irish produced 280 yards, 117 rushing for 3.8 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 395 yards to the Cardinals, 264 passing on 41 attempts. Riley Leonard here goes 17-23 passing, 463 yards with 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 52 yards and a touchdown. Stanford rushing for 4.3 yards a carry. They do stop the run, giving up 3.4 yards per rush. Notre Dame did not do much in their downfield passing game, averaging 6.2 yards per pass attempt. They do allow 3.9 yards per rush. Notre Dame 5-7 the spread as a home favorite. Player will be Stanford here plus 24. Texas and Oklahoma college football pick. Here we go for Saturday. All right, it's a big rivalry game here. Game played in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. Texas improved to 5-0 after the 35-13 home win at Mississippi State. The Longhorns gained 523 yards, 198 rushing for 6.4 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Bulldogs at 294 yards, 150 rushing for 3 yards a carry. Quinn Ewers has practiced leaning toward playing after his ab injury. In 3 games, he's hitting 73% of his passes, 8.7 yards per pass attempt. Oklahoma 4-1, a 27-21 road win at Auburn. The Sooners put up 291 yards, 130 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 482 yards to the Tigers with 338 passing on 32 attempts. Michael Hawkins here, 10-15 passes for 161 yards. He rushed for 69 yards and a touchdown. Oklahoma is rushing for 3.7 yards a carry, 6 yards per pass attempt. The Sooners hold opponents at 2.6 yards per rush, but 7.9 yards per pass attempt. Texas is putting up outstanding numbers on both sides of the football. The quarterback change was a positive for the Sooners as Hawkins took care of the football and was accurate in a road SEC spot. Ewers' health a concern for the Texas in this rivalry game. It's tough to lay, over 2 touchdowns here to play Oklahoma plus 14.5. All right, San Diego State and Wyoming college football pick. Here we go for Saturday. San Diego State improves to 2-3 after a 27-24 home win to Hawaii. The Aztecs gained at 323 yards, 99 rushing for 2.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 356 yards to the Warriors, 272 passing on 44 attempts. Daniel O'Neal here, 24-33 passing for 224 yards with a touchdown. Wyoming 1-4, a 31-19 home win to Air Force. Cowboys put up 361 yards, 173 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Falcons to 320 yards, 205 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. Evan Svoboda, 15-21 passing for 165 yards. He rushed for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. San Diego State is running for only 2.9 yards a carry and getting inaccurate quarterback play. The Aztecs defense allows 5.1 yards per rush and gives up 248 yards passing for 6.6 yards per pass attempt. They are allowing 463 yards a game. Wyoming struggles offensively. On defense, they allow 4.8 yards a carry with 63% completion rate. San Diego State has lost both road games, including a 1-point loss to a MAC school in Central Michigan. The Cowboys 6-2 to the spread as a home underdog. Play Wyoming plus 2.5. Penn State and USC college football pick. Here we go. Saturday, big one here. Penn State improved to 5-0, a 27-11 home win to UCLA. Nittany Lions gained 312 yards, 85 rushing for 2.8 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Bruins to 260 yards with 167 passing on 30 attempts. Drouillard, 17-24 passing for 237 yards with a touchdown, and he also had a rushing touchdown in there. USC fell to 3-2, a 24-17 road defeat in Minnesota. The Trojans gained 373 yards, 173 rushing for 6.2 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 362 yards to the Golden Gophers, 193 rushing for 4.8 yards a carry. Miller Moss here, 23-38 passing for 200 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. These Big Ten teams with long travel here in conference are having issues winning. About the lone exception was Indiana when they traveled to UCLA. Penn State putting up great numbers on both sides of the field. USC running for 5.2 yards a carry and averaging 64% completion rate, nearly 7 yards per pass attempt. The defense allowing 5 yards per run, 67% completions for only 6.5 yards per pass attempt. The Trojans played well at home. Penn State's first road game since August 31st. Play here will be USC here at plus 5.5. Memphis and USF college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Memphis improved to 4-1, a 24-7 home win to Middle Tennessee State. The Tigers put up 413 yards, 186 rushing for 5.8 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 312 yards to the Blue Raiders, 283 passing on 31 attempts. Seth Hennigan, 26-41 passing for 227 yards. USF fell to 2-4. A 45-10 road defeat to Tulane. The Bulls gained 211 yards, 26 rushing on 25 carries. On defense, they allowed 528 yards to the Green Wave, 330 passing on 23 attempts. Myron Brown here, 12-18 passing for 134 yards and had a rushing touchdown. He is questionable with a foot injury and was wearing a boot after the game. Bryce Archie in relief, 4 of 10 passing for 41 yards. Memphis offense rushing for over 5 yards a carry, completing 64% of their passes for 6.9 yards per pass attempt. They defend the run well and allow 7.4 yards per pass attempt. USF rushes for 4.5 yards a carry. They're getting poor play at the quarterback position, just 57% completion rate, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Issue with the Bulls in their pass defense where they allowed 290 yards, 64% completion rate, 9.7 yards per pass attempt. The Tigers have experience at the quarterback position with Hennigan. Big difference in effectiveness at the quarterback position as well. Playing Memphis here, -7. All right, Ohio and Central Michigan college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Ohio here improved to 3-2 after the 30-10 home win to Akron. The Bulls produced 440 yards, 236 rushing for 4.6 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Zips to 214 yards, 18 rushing on 20 carries. Parker Navarro here, 12 of 18 passing for 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 113 yards and a touchdown. Central Michigan sits at 3-2, a 22-21 home win to San Diego State. The Chippewas put up 452 yards, 154 rushing for 3.7 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 264 yards to the Aztecs, 246 passing on 23 attempts. Joe Labas here, 24 of 43 passing for 275 yards with a touchdown and pick. Ohio rushing for 4.8 yards a carry and throwing for 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they limit foes to 3.3 yards a carry with 7 yards per pass attempt. Central Michigan has put up good numbers as they run for 5.5 yards a carry, throw for 245 yards a game, 7.3 yards per pass attempt. They do limit opponents to 4 yards a carry on the ground with 7.4 yards per pass attempt. The Bobcats have played 2 Power 4 teams on the road, suffering blowout losses with poor offensive performance. CMU's offensive play is encouraging here. Play Central Michigan here at +3. Arizona and BYU college football pick for Saturday. Arizona fell at 3-2 after their 28-22 home defeat to Texas Tech. The Wildcats gained 422 yards, 121 rushing for 4 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 334 yards to the Red Raiders, 117 rushing for 4 yards a carry. Noah Fafita here, 28 of 49 passing for 301 yards, 2 interceptions. BYU 5-0 after a 34-28 road win at Baylor. The Cougars produced 367 yards, 119 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 387 yards to the Bears, 324 passing on 48 attempts. Jake Resloff, 17 of 31 passing for 216 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. He rushed for 53 yards and a touchdown. Arizona's rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Passing game has underperformed with 61% completion rate, 6.4 yards per pass attempt. They hold opponents to 4.4 yards a carry with 56% completion rate, 6.4 yards per pass attempt. BYU is running for 4 yards a carry, but producing better in their passing game with 8.2 yards per pass attempt. Cougars' defense just been outstanding this year. 3.7 yards a carry, 51% completions allowed, 5 yards per pass attempt. Must respect the Wildcats win at Utah, but man, BYU is just defending very well right now. Their 38-9 home win to Kansas State is impressive. Arizona has lost both games to the established Big 12 teams in Texas Tech and Kansas State. BYU 4-1 to the spread at home against the conference play. BYU here minus the 5. Mississippi State and Georgia college football pick. Saturday, Mississippi State fell to 1-4. A 35-13 road defeat to Texas. The Bulldogs put up 294 yards, 150 rushing for 3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 522 yards to Longhorns, 324 passing on 31 attempts. Mitchell Van Buren here, 12 of 23 passing for 144 yards. Georgia now 4-1. A 31-13 home win to Auburn. The Bulldogs posted at 381 yards, 141 rushing for 3.8 yards a carry. Carson Beck here, 23 of 29 passing for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mississippi State is rushing for only 3.6 yards a carry, but can move the ball through the air. 63% completions, 8.3 yards per pass attempt. They are a poor defensive team that allows 5.3 yards a carry, 74% completion rate, 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Georgia offensively is running for 4.6 yards a carry, 67% completion rate, 8.4 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they allow 3.8 yards per rush, 64% completions, 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Mississippi State 9-2 to the under on the road. They were only able to score 13 points at Texas, 6-17 at home to Toledo. Georgia 8-0 to the under at home, coming off a blowout win by 17 or greater points. Play here will be Mississippi State and Georgia under 53.5. Southern Miss and UL Monroe college football pick Saturday. Southern Miss drops to 1-4, a 23-13 loss to Louisiana. The Golden Eagles produced 177 yards, 37 rushing on 19 carries. On defense, they allowed 410 yards to the Green Cajuns, 222 passing yards on 29 attempts. Tate Rodemaker, 15-21 passing for 140 yards. UL Monroe improved to 4-1, a 21-19 home win to James Madison. The Warhawks gained 257 yards, 110 rushing for 3.7 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 399 yards to the Dukes with 148 rushing for 4.4 yards a carry. Aiden Armenta here, 17-30 passing for 147 yards with a touchdown pick. Golden Eagles rushing for 3 yards a carry. They complete 60% of their passes, about 8 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they're allowing 5.3 yards a carry, 66% completion rate, 7.3 yards per pass attempt. UL Monroe has shaky offensive numbers with 3.9 yards a carry. Inefficient passing game. Defensively, they're giving up 4.2 yards a carry, 59% completions for 6.5 yards per pass attempt. UL Monroe defensively at home against FBS teams have been outstanding, allowing 19 to James Madison, 6 to the UAB. Southern Miss has been poor on the road. 31-zip loss to Kentucky, 44-7 loss to Jacksonville State. Play UL Monroe minus 6.5. Florida and Tennessee college football pick Saturday. Florida improved to 3-2, a 24-13 home win to UCF. The Gators gained 359 yards, 130 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Knights at 273 yards, 108 rushing for 2.7 yards a carry. Graham Hurts, 19-23 passing for 179 yards and a touchdown. Tennessee drops here to 4-1, a 19-14 road defeat to Arkansas. Volunteers put up 334 yards, 176 rushing for 4.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 434 yards to the Razorbacks, 297 passing on 30 attempts. Nico Yamalava, 16-28 passing for 156 yards. Florida is moving the football for 4.6 yards per rush, 72% completion rate, 9.7 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they are allowing 4 yards per rush, 64% completions, 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Volunteers offense rushing for 5.7 yards a carry, 67% completion rate, 8.9 yards per pass attempt. Their defense smothers teams, allowing 1.9 yards a carry, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. Florida, against tough competition, was defeated at home by Texas A&M by 13, at home to Miami by 24. Tennessee 11-3 of the spread at home. Play here will be on Tennessee minus the 15.5. North Texas and FAU college football pick. This one is on Saturday. North Texas 4-1 after a 52-20 home win to Tulsa. The Mean Green put up 618 yards, 179 rushing for 6.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 415 yards to the Golden Hurricane, 186 passing on 44 attempts. Chandler Morris here, 22 of 34 passing for 439 yards with 5 touchdowns. FAU now 2-3, a 41-10 home win to FCS Wagner. The prior week, it was a 48-14 road defeat at UConn. The Owls gained 250 yards, 163 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 542 yards to the Huskies, 421 rushing for 6.4 yards a carry. Cam Franchner here, 9 of 15 passing for 87 yards and a pick. North Texas has been outstanding offensive numbers here with 5.2 yards per rush, 66% completion rate, 9 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they allow 4.2 yards a carry, only 54% completions for 6.8 yards per attempt. FAU's rushing for nearly 5 yards a carry, but not an efficient passing team. They defend the pass well, but giving up 222 yards rushing for over 5 yards a carry. FAU has recent blowout losses at UConn and home to Army. Offensive production was poor in those games. Mean Green 6-3 to the spread at home against the conference. FAU 5-9 to the spread at home. Play here will be on North Texas minus 6.5. All right, it's UTSA and Rice college football pick. Here we go, Saturday. UTSA fell to 2-3, a 30-20 road defeat to East Carolina. The Roadrunners put up 456 yards, 170 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 341 yards to the Pirates with 294 passing yards on 35 attempts. It was Owen McCown here, 24 of 49 passing for 251 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Rice 1-4. A 21-20 home defeat to Charlotte. The Owls gained 463 yards, 209 rushing, 6.7 yards per carry on the ground. Defensively, they allowed 304 yards to the 49ers, 237 passing on 36 attempts. E.J. Warner now 22 of 40 in the game, 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. UTSA is not as productive offensively as they were with Frank Harris at quarterback. The team runs here for 3.9 yards a carry, averaging just 6.4 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they defend the run well, but giving up 272 yards passing per game, 9.2 yards per pass attempt. Rice run the ball really well, 6 yards a carry, inefficient with their passing game. On defense, they do hold teams to 3.9 yards a carry, just 56% completion rate, 6.7 yards per pass attempt. It's UTSA's really performing poorly in the road games, double-digit losses in all 3 games. Owls 5-1. The spread is a underdog. Play Rice plus 5.5. Air Force and New Mexico college football pick Saturday. Air Force now 1-4, a 34-7 home defeat to Navy. The Falcons gained 273 yards, 158 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 463 yards to the midshipmen, 329 rushing for 6.7 yards a carry. John Busha went 0 of 2 passing. He rushed for 13 yards in the game. New Mexico now 1-4, a 50-40 road win at New Mexico State. The Lobos topped 380 yards, 331 rushing for 6.8 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 474 yards to the Aggies, 285 rushing for 8 yards a carry. Devin Dampier here, 13-28 passing for 248 yards. He rushed for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns. Air Force rushes for only 3.6 yards per game and is ineffective with their passing game. The Falcons are allowing 5 yards per rush, 64% completions, 9 yards per pass attempt. Mexico rushing for 6 yards a carry, 57% completions, 5.7 yards per pass attempt. The Lobos defense giving up 6 yards a carry, 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Mexico's only win came against the down New Mexico State team. The rush defense a major concern here. Play Air Force plus 6.5. Washington State and the Fresno State. I like to call them the Fresno State. College football pick here for Saturday. Washington State drops a 4-1, a 45-24 road defeat to Boise State. The Cougars put up 416 yards in the game, 89 rushing for 2.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 460 yards to the Broncos, 276 rushing for 7.7 yards a carry. John Mateer, 26-37 passing for 327 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Fresno State now 3-2, a 59-14 road defeat at UNLV. The Bulldogs gain 346 yards, 30 rushing on 31 attempts. Defensively, they allowed 450 yards to the Rebels, 252 rushing for 6.5 yards a carry. Mikey Keene here, 27-41 passing for 316 yards with a touchdown and pick. Washington has put up great offensive numbers, 5.2 yards per rush, 9.3 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they are struggling by giving up 5.4 yards per rush, 62% completion rate for 292 yards, and 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Fresno State rushes for only 3.3 yards a carry. They are an efficient passing team that converts 66% of their passes, 8 yards per pass attempt. Defense giving up 4.6 yards a carry and defend the pass well by allowing 56% completions, 6.1 yards per pass attempt. Fresno State has played well at home. Washington State's defense has struggled the past 2 games, gave up a total of 97 points. The Cougars are 0-4 the spread on the road, facing winning teams that have a 600 to 750 win percentage. Play Fresno State here plus 3.5. All right, Arkansas State and Texas State college football pick for Saturday. Arkansas State sits in 3-2 with their 18-16 home win to South Alabama. The Red Wolves put up 411 yards, 66 rushing for 2.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 453 yards to the Jaguars, 292 passing on 36 attempts. Jalen Rayner here, 30-39 passing for 345 yards and a touchdown. Texas State now 3-2, a 38-17 road win at Troy. The Bobcats gained 467 yards, 215 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 331 yards to the Trojans, 268 passing on 32 attempts. Jordan McLeod here, 20-29 passing for 252 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. He rushed for 72 yards and a touchdown. Arkansas State is getting poor offensive production, 2.8 yards per rush, 59% completion rate. On defense, they're surrendering 5.8 yards per rush, 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Texas State is a good offensive team that rushes for 4.7 yards a carry, completes 69% of their passes, 8 yards per pass attempt. Arkansas State is 6-2 the under on the road in conference. The play will be Arkansas State and Texas State under 64.5. Looking for my best bets, my premium plays? Click the link in the description. That'll take you to my page at tonyspicks.com. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our work, give us a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.